Hi everyone, thanks so much for tuning in. Today I'm going to dye my hair and you're going to come along with me. So here's a quick overview of the supplies that I'll be using today to dye my hair. Of course, we've got Freida Precision Foam Color, 3VR, Deep Cherry Brown. I'm excited to see how this looks on me. I've got petroleum jelly. This will be used around the nape of my neck and my ears, of course, just to help, any dye that might seep on there. That always kind of gives away the fact that you've dyed your hair at home, so hopefully I can avoid that. I'm going to be using these gloves that I have. I use these for cleaning around the house. I think these are just a little bit better. They feel a little more secure than the cheap plastic gloves that will come in here. Did I mention my alcohol prep pads? These are just for cleaning off the nape of my neck or any areas that might get a little bit of hair dye on them. If I get any on my skin, I can use those. I've got a few hair clips. These are just going to be used to section off my hair. Bear in mind, I may need to use a couple more than this. I do have very thick hair myself. And then I have my styling tools. I have my wet curly hairbrush and my detangling comb. I will likely use these more so after I rinse my hair. I know you don't really want to do a lot of brushing your hair as you prepare to dye it. So these are the supplies I'll be using, guys. New year, new color. All right, we're gonna dye my hair today. I'm gonna take you along. Let's open up our box here of Freida Precision Foam Color. This is, as I mentioned, 3VR Deep Cherry Brown. So I'm excited about the color. So first thing I'm taking out, these are the gloves. So I'm not going to be using the gloves they provide. I'm going to use my own cleaning gloves. These are plastic gloves I use for cleaning around the house. What do we have here? We have the developer. Okay, we've got the little foam nozzle. And then I'm just putting the things. I have a little shelf right here. And that little shelf is going to be helpful for me, I think, today. Ooh, after color conditioner. This is always my friend. My hair does tend to get so dry, especially after dyeing or doing any kind of treatment. So that after color conditioner is going to be my good friend. Here we have our directions. And the colorant, 3VR. All right, so we apply to dry combed hair. I mean, duh, right? So my hair is freshly washed. It's dry. I did also sit under my air dryer to really make sure that it's bone dry before we start the dyeing process. My hair is very curly. You can see here I've got a lot of it. I will likely use the entire package, the entire contents of one package, or at least most of it. Although for my length, you would think that I probably don't need that much, but really what it is my hair is very thick. I've got a lot going on there. Just very, very thick and curly hair. So I will likely be using the whole box. I've already put the Vaseline around my hairline, so if I'm looking a little greasy, a little sluggish in here, just know that that is because I've already done the Vaseline. So this Vaseline barrier that I've done kind of around my face and my ears will prevent any hair dye if it would sort of drip or transfer onto my skin. That just kind of helps get it off easier and prevents too much staining. Oops. All right, back to the directions. I'm getting a little distracted here. Put on the professional gloves, remove cap from developer, empty colorant into developer, and replace the cap. All right, we can do that. So here are my gloves, and again, these are from home. I use these to clean our bathrooms. All right, so we're going to mix the colorant into the developer. Okay. Put the lid on. All right, slowly tilt, develop our upside down. 5 times to mix. 5 times is enough. Extra mixing will not create more foam. Okay, so 5 times. And it says to gently tilt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess. This is weird. I haven't done this exact kind before. It is so weird to me that you just turn it. I'm gonna turn it one more. I know it says you don't have to, but oh, I just feel like I need to. And one more than that. All right, a little extra, but sometimes you gotta be. Okay, so now we're gonna replace the black cap with the foamer and click it into place. All right, so we're getting there. Now, all right, I don't know if you heard that click. Clicked right into place. Now, I can begin to apply this foam to my hair. We're gonna do a quick cutaway. I do wanna make sure that I divide my hair into a few different sections before I start applying the foam. All right, we're gonna try sectioning off my hair, guys. All right. So primarily, I think how I'm gonna section this, I'm gonna start with just like a section at the top on each side. I really wanna be very mindful of how I do the top here because that's where all of my gray is. Fake hair problems. I just broke a clip. I like to think of my hair as thick with 2 C's. I'm gonna have to use a scrunchie to create one of my other parts here. I just snapped a clip. Here's the piece of the other clip that just broke off when I was trying to put it in. So, it's that thick hair. Probably didn't have to put it in a little bun like that. But I think I'm gonna be good with this. Essentially I have 4 sections here. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna clip. Okay, so I do still have 1 clip. I'm gonna use this for the bottom portion. That's not as heavy as the top. All right. I have now split my hair. It's time to apply the dye. All right, so what this wants us to do is apply a tennis ball sized amount of foam onto your gloved hand, then apply to the hair, starting at the roots of your natural part. All right, so, tennis ball size, huh? I don't know what tennis ball size is. Oh, look at that. This is wild. All right, this is probably a little bit smaller than a tennis size, but we're gonna go with it. All right, I'm gonna start by just applying to my root area up here. And so I know I have these sections, but I really do wanna try to get to my roots first and foremost. It's where my grays just, I got some real stubborn grays and a lot more than I like to, than I probably want to admit today. I'm excited though. I'm excited for a new color. It's time. You know, new year, new color. But I'm also just really overdue. You know, it so happens that, you know, we're approaching the start of 2026. So why not, you know, do a little extra self-care, do a little hair dye action at home. But truly, I've needed this for a while, guys. All right, I'm gonna cape up with my extra shirt. So kind of like I said, this just helps keep it off the nape of my neck. This is just an old shirt. It's actually really cute. Sometimes I wish I still wore this shirt. I think it fits. I don't know why. At one point it became a shirt that I tie-dyed. At one point it became kind of like my hair shirt. You know, when they started saying you want to use like a cotton t-shirt to dry your hair, especially if it's curly. Well, this was the shirt that I used for that, and I actually still do to this day. So not only is it my hair dyeing shirt, but really, actually, it also functions as just kind of my hair drying shirt as well. Hair drying, hair dyeing, the shirt does it all. So while I'm thinking of it, I do also really want to thank everyone who took the time to check out our channel this year, Travel Hot Dish. You know, you may know I've been wanting to do YouTube. You probably wouldn't know. I've been wanting to do YouTube for a really long time, years. I've wanted a creative outlet for a really long time before YouTube. I was really into the idea of podcasting. This was before 2020, okay? Feels like now everybody's got a podcast, right? And still much respect if you do. I recorded, I think, one episode of a podcast back in 2020, because I did finally get around to it in 2020, right? And it was a lot of work. I just really appreciate everyone who's taken the time to watch our channel this year. Whether you've watched a couple videos. If this is your first video, hey, I still appreciate you. I appreciate you just as much. But yeah, I just want to say, you know, I'm appreciative. I know it's a very small group of you right now, but I do just really appreciate everybody who's taken the time to check out my creative efforts, you know, my creative endeavors, especially because these do mean a lot to me. What I'd like to do this year, as I do continue to roll out some of our, you know, more traditional content, you know, maybe more localized, I do want to also try publishing some more experimental content. So videos like this, where I'm dyeing my hair, maybe going to thrift stores, walking mojito, just some other things that, you know, maybe I'll capture a bit more of a slice of my daily life. Zach had a really good point that, you know, this can be a helpful way for me to practice, continue practicing my speaking on camera, my editing, really all of it, especially while we're in this season where we're just not doing, you know, travel in that same way. I want to get content, I want to be ready. So when we are traveling again, when we're out there on back-to-back cruises, when we're out there going to Vegas, I'll really be ready to vlog it, share it with you guys. Who knows, by that time we might be big enough, we might do some lives. And I know that's quite a ways off, but you know, just know I have a plan, and you may see some content for a while that's a little bit different, you know. Please allow me to kind of figure out what I like, maybe what I'm good at, and you know, just to express myself creatively. If you like it, please keep watching, please interact, that helps grow the channel. So what this says is you want to leave the hair dye on for 20 minutes for an all-over color, plus an extra 10 for thick hair and additional grays. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to consider 30 minutes. I will likely give that, make that just 25, because I've been talking for probably about 5 minutes here. But we're going to take a break. 25 minutes, I'm going to go and rinse my hair out, and we'll see how this looks. All right, it's time for my rinse. I'm gonna see if I can post the camera up here. I'm in another bathroom of ours. See, this tub has a spray nozzle that'll make it a little bit easier to rinse the back of my hair without getting in the full shower for the second time today. So let's get to it. Here we are. All right, friends, I'm back now to show you my freshly dyed and rinsed hair. So I just rinsed it. I rinsed the dye out. I put in the conditioner that came with it. I waited several minutes and then I rinsed that out as well. I haven't put any other product in my hair since. I will say my hair feels really soft. I do quite like the touch of my hair right now. It feels soft. I think it looks pretty cute, honestly. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I like this darker color on myself. I feel like my features pop a little bit more. I'm liking the look I have going right now. So I've got my dark hair, I've got my red nails, my fire engine red nails, and my dark hair. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I might just leave my hair like this tonight. I actually think this is pretty cute. I probably don't need to do anything with it. So yeah, thanks for coming along. This hair dye mission, I would say, is a success. I'm a fan of the Freida mousse dyes, if you will. I would recommend it. I think that the dyeing experience was really easy. The dye didn't have a terrible smell. It was not messy. I don't know that I got it anywhere. And I did put towels down, but you know, some dyes just tend to be so messy. There are some instances where no matter how much you cover up, it feels like you still get dye somewhere. And I don't know, I didn't have that this time. So, you know, I'll credit myself with being careful, but I gotta give the dye a little bit of credit too, because I do think there's something to it. Yeah, so ease of use, I'd give it a 10. Smell, you know how hair dye can have that very ammonia, sometimes offensive smell. I would say this really, I didn't notice it. I even did my hair in the small room without the fan on. I'm realizing now maybe that wasn't a great idea. I did have the door open though, so I suppose that probably made it fine. But yeah, the smell, the ammonia, really didn't get any of that. The price wasn't bad. I forget exactly how much I paid, but y'all, I just got this from my local Cub pharmacy. It was probably 12 or 13 bucks. Now compare that with when I would go get my hair dyed. I've left the salon with my hair looking pretty much just like this for 300 bucks. You know, so I ain't mad at it, you know. No, I don't really have maybe the same subtle highlights that I would sometimes get when I went to a colorist, but I don't know. I think this looks really quite good. And if I'm being honest, yeah, it's got dimension. You know, I really don't have highlights, but, you know, why would I? I didn't do highlights. But the hair has dimension. It's soft. It's shiny. I really like how this turned out. And again, when you're going from effectively $100 a month just to maintain your hair, this is so much cheaper. You know, say what you will about the damaging quality. I don't care at this point. I know it's bad. I'm like, dyeing your hair in general is bad. And, you know, I know I might have a hairdresser come on here and scold me. I've heard it all before. I really have. You know what? And if my hair goes to crap, I'm not above a weave. So I'm not above a weave. I'm not above some wigs. Honestly, bring it on. But I do like my natural hair, so I do want to try to maintain it as much as possible when I can. Anyways, y'all, I'm gonna go. I feel that I've yammered at you enough today. We'll see what kind of video I'm able to put together with this. But again, thanks so much for watching. If you've tuned in to our channel at all this year, thanks so much for watching this video, especially if you've made it to the end.